To the bottom part. Joining us now, Jeffrey M. Verdon. He is managing partner of Jeffrey M. Verdon Law Group, and we're going to talk today about asset protection. Jeffrey, welcome to Payne Nation.
Thank you, Charles. Good to be with you.
It's good to be with you as well. You know, a seriously big topic. Of course, the president today talking about the Buffett rule and going again after more assets, after investment income, really in a major way. Now, while I realize that this particular attempt is dead on arrival, it's going to be a centerpiece of the re-election campaign. Where are we right now as a nation, and how can people start to protect their assets?
Well, they have to take control of their own planning. They can't allow the government to do it for them. And we have a really unique window of opportunity for the balance of this year, and for both middle income and high income and middle asset and high income asset individuals. And yet I'm surprised, stunned actually, at how little attention it's getting, both in the press as well as the people I meet with in my office.
Well, what do you mean by that? I know that in January 1st, 2013, a whole bunch of taxes go up, a whole bunch of spending goes down. A lot of people think it's going to be something, that could devastate this country. But with respect to people protecting their assets, they're not taking it seriously enough?
I don't think they are. I mean, for example, in January 1st, 2011, the government gave us 2 years to both either after they die or during their lifetime, transfer $5 million to the next generation. And that's been unprecedented. The previous amount was $1 million, and before that it was $600,000. And when I started the practice law back in the late 70s, it was $60,000 was the amount that it was exempted from gift tax. So today and through the end of this year, taxpayers can give away up to $5 million if they have that kind of wealth into a trust or other device for their loved ones. The problem with making gifts of this size is once they give it away, they can't get it back under traditional planning. And we learned anything from the 2008 recession, you can't be too thin or too rich. So our office devised a trust we call the HISET Trust. HISET is an acronym that stands for Have Your Cake and Eat It Too. And this is a trust in which a taxpayer can give away up to $5 million, either in property or cash, and they can insert themselves as a beneficiary of that trust so they can get the money back if they should need it. If they don't need it, they shouldn't take it because it'll be brought back into their estate.
So, Jeffrey, this sounds amazing. You're essentially saying people can give the money to themselves and not pay the taxes on it.
Well, they can make a gift to a trust in which they're a participant.
Okay.
Now, this has been in the law for a long time, but we've never had this big of an exemption before, so people didn't pay a lot of attention to it. And now we have this large exemption, and people should be paying attention to it. But the device to be able to do this has been with us for a while, and the taxpayers and their advisors ought to be paying close attention to how to do this. We call this trust the HISET Trust because it distinguishes this trust from other things that we do. But anybody out there can set this up if they do it properly.
Jeffrey, here's the thing. Wasn't there 1 year where there were no estate taxes, and then retroactively they leveled state taxes? In other words, despite the law, is it conceivable that if President Obama is reelected and he has enough support in Congress that they could actually go back and even erase some of the rules that you're playing by now and change them?
Fortunately, the answer is they cannot. It's unconstitutional to retroactively tax someone once they've once the planning has been completed. It's been tried twice. President Clinton did it once. Unfortunately, or fortunately, no one contested it. And then it was tried, as you say, at the end of 2010. They retroactively passed. They gave you an option, an election, and so that theoretically wasn't a retroactive tax. But George Steinbrenner got it right. He died in 2010 when there was no estate tax, and it saved his heirs over $600 million. There were a couple of billionaires that died that year. We're not going to see this again. That's why I'm urging all of our clients to take advantage of this, because we're never going to see these kinds of exemptions ever in our lifetimes.
Jeffrey, outside of this particular niche, which is obviously extraordinarily important, I've never understood the need, the amazing need for the government to want to go after people in death after they've taxed them throughout their entire lifetime. But what do you make? Do you have an opinion on this Buffett rule and what it could really mean outside of the economic numbers that we know and that have been crunched? Could it be negative with respect to people, your clients? Would they want to keep investing if they know that their returns are going to be limited?
It's all politics. I mean, the fact of the matter, comparing what Buffett pays in taxes or any investor to what a secretary makes, we're talking two different taxes. One's capital gains tax, which everybody gets to pay at 15%. And then it's an ordinary income, which is what the secretary is earning and making, which is
I know. I get
rate.
that, but we've got like a minute to go, and I'm wondering though, if I'm going to get taxed at 30%, I mean that changes the risk reward dynamics, and I'm less likely to invest in things.
Well, if you tax it more, you get less. You know what the old adage is. So I think it's a lot of argument and hyperbole, but I don't see it happening. I think there's going to be too much. You have a Republican House of Representatives where the tax bill starts. I don't think we're going to see that.
Jeffrey M. Verdon from the Jeffrey M. Verdon Law Group on asset protection and other things. Hey, Jeff, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us.
You're welcome. Nice to be with you, Charles.
Same here.